This is Amanda from from the Dyer Bear podcast, and welcome to my knitting podcast. This is a podcast all about knitting and hand-dyed yarn. And if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you enjoy it here. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. You can find me on Ravelry as Meadowy Ravine. You can find me on Instagram as Dyer Bear Yarns, and most of my pictures are of my knitting and my cats and my yarn. So if you think you will find that sort of thing interesting, please feel free to go follow me on Instagram. In my Ravelry group, the Dyer Bear Yarns podcast group, and on Instagram, I am having a multicolor cow. I'll flash up a picture here of the image that I used. So this is my first knit along. I'm very excited for it. So it's gonna be pretty loose. It's gonna run through the summertime. And crochet works, quilting works, sewing works, knitting obviously works since it's a gal. Just make something with multiple colors in it. This can be a variegated yarn, a very tonal yarn that may be kind of pushing it if it's really multiple colors, but that'll be pretty easy. Or multiple colors in one project, a fade, brioche, whatever you want to do that involves multiple colors, and it can be in the same skein of yarn just as long as they're different colors. Yes. So I have a thread open for works in progress, and I have a thread for finished objects. Works in progress you can have started as long as you're not like binding off. I started this, it opened last week. I posted it on Instagram, so please feel free to post pictures. I will draw prizes from both of the threads, and then I will draw finished objects from Instagram that are tagged with multicolor cow. So yeah, that's my summer knit along, and I am super excited about it. And pretty much everything I've been knitting now has multiple colors in it, and I was actually looking for sew faded knit alongs to see if I could join one, and I couldn't find any. And at first I had the hashtag wrong because it's sew faded sweater and not just sew faded on Instagram, but I haven't seen any really knit alongs for it, so I decided I'll have my own, and then I decided I would open it up to anything with multiple colors. So hence the multicolor cow. Plus it's fun to say. And when I searched the hashtag on Instagram to see if it had been used before, all that came up was multicolored kale, like the vegetable, which is, if you grow multicolored kale, I would actually probably accept that too. But yes, so please go join the Ravelry group, and then you can post there in those threads, and I will draw prizes. I'm not sure yet what the prizes will be. I will draw them on August 15th. So anything you post before that will be eligible, and I'm really excited about it. I will try to have some pretty cool prizes. I have, not sure yet, but it will be something probably colorful. So I don't have a lot of time to podcast today. I'm actually podcasting on a Saturday, which is not my usual day. My usual, since this is my fourth podcast. But my family is around, so my husband is out with my son right now, and my daughter is in the other room watching her iPad, because we're great parents like that. So I'm not sure how long this will be, but I wanted to not go 2 weeks between podcasts anymore, because it just feels like so long. I feel like I forget things, and then I feel like I might finish this sweater before you see more of it. I have not finished it yet, but this is my first works in progress. Don't have any finished objects today. But look at this sweater! I have a boob cover! It looks a little fun. So the proportions are a little off, and I think it'll look better with sleeves, but look how far down it is! So I'm on the fourth color now. I have just faded in. This is my hand-dyed yarn, Dyer Bear Yarns and Suddenly Lilacs. This is Vine Yarns in Coven, and this is Moonstone Dye Works in Come On Over. And I have just faded in Knox Yarns in Luna. So I really, really like these colors. Everything is so soft. This is a single ply, so it's really, really soft. And I'm hoping, I was learning more about single plies, I'm hoping it won't pill too much since I did it at the top, and it's not underneath the arms or anything. So it's just nice and soft here. And then this is a MCN Merino Cashmere Nylon. And then this is a Sparkle Base. So this is the Moonstone Dye Works for this gratuitous boob trap. So the Knox Yarns, I'll show you the skein. It has kind of this very similar blue tones, but instead of the pink and dark blue, alright, that's probably enough of my boobs. Instead of the pink and dark blue speckles, it has this like highlighter yellow and turquoisey teal speckles. So I'm hoping when I knit some more, it won't look like it's one big swath, which would look kind of uneven since it would be twice as big as the other stripes or other, colors. So I'm hoping it looks different enough, but still fades well. So I'm kind of gonna have to knit a couple inches to see how I like it. But so far I like it, and I like the yarn. And my fourth color, I think will blend in really well. And that will be my fifth color, because this is my last color, is my Tennis Fiber Arts in Lotus. And I cannot wait to see them together. And it's another merino, so it's nice and super soft. So yes, this is my main work in progress. I have not been able to put this down. I started this just about 2 weeks ago, so this is really fast progress on a fingering weight cardigan, I feel. I actually kind of like the shorter sleeves. I feel kind of like, especially with the garter stitch and the raglan, it looks kind of like an 80s cut-off sweatshirt, which I kind of like. So I might keep the sleeves at cap length. Here, Squeaky here to say hello. I might keep the sleeves at cap length for the summertime, since it is 80 degrees out today. I might keep the sleeve short so I have a hope of wearing it in the evenings, or I might, I don't know, maybe down to here-ish. And then in the fall, pick them up. Take off the bind off, pick them up, and knit further down. I'm going to take this off now. So yes, I love it so much. I have, new to me, I have a progress keeper on it. It's a little rainbow. So I super like that. This progress keeper is from when I made the progress keepers, because I made it myself. Not from the last podcast, because I think I think I was somewhere around here the last time I podcasted, so quite a lot of progress, especially for me. But it's super nice. I really like knitting with these yarns. Look at this, the Moonstone Dye Works. It's just, her colorway Come On Over. I love it. Those bags, I think it's Mrs. Brown's bags, where they take a picture of knitted up yarn and use that as the print for the bag. This needs to be that. Don't eat that, cat. Because that's, I would buy that bag. That's gorgeous. These are all my favorite colors. And then this, you can see the highlighter yellow and the black from the Knox yarns from the Luna fading in. So super happy with that. The only other whip I have, whip isn't something I worked on this last week. I had Lolo Did It yarn in I Heart Me Shown, all skated up and ready to go whenever I had time, and I had a little bit of time. This is some car knitting. I was going to do these two at a time. I think this look at. I was going to do these two at a time, but since we were in the car and I wanted to do them toe up, and I didn't remember how to do the cast on for two at a time, but I knew how to do it for one at a time. I just did one at a time. So I get this far in 2 car rides, which I think is pretty good. Yeah, so that's knitting up so pretty. I love these. They're so springy. So the colorway is I Heart Michonne, and Michonne is a character on Walking Dead, which I don't watch, but my sister does, and she says that she's badass and she kills zombies with a machete. So I assume this is supposed to be a pretty badass colorway, and it is. But it also looks a lot like a rose garden, or like a very springy garden with the spring greens, even with the black in it. I don't know. So I think it's very pretty. I'm really excited. And then the toe is in Hello Gorgeous. So very happy with that. That's going along really well for something that I'm really not working on very much at all. I had a shop update yesterday. I would have normally done the podcast before the shop update, but since this week was just one of those weeks. Nothing specific happened, but the whole week felt like we were barely holding it together for not really any particular reason. Just a rough week. So this was why I didn't get a chance to podcast this week. I had really wanted to on Thursday, and it just didn't happen. So that's why I'm doing it today. I also didn't have a chance to dye up too much yarn this week, so we don't have a lot new in the shop, but I do have one thing that is new. I have a new base. I have a 2-ply high twist yarn. This is 100% merino, and it's beautiful. I love the way it dyes it. This is, the bees are in the lavender on it, which is lavender-y purple, and these splashes of yellow for the bees, and then some green for the lavender. And then I dyed it at the same time, so it's the same green. I dyed up a really fat little mini skein in the lavender greenery for heels and toes, because I knitted up a sample of this colorway and I love it, and I really wanted it with the green heels and toes. I could do purple as well, because purple would be really pretty, but I thought the green set off the lavender. So that looks more blue. I have better pictures on Etsy for that. So that's in my Etsy shop, dyerbearyarns.etsy.com, if you were interested. Also, I wanted some progress keepers, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted. I was actually looking for them for my my announcement that I will make in a few weeks. Um, so I went and I made some. So I am using some of them, and I put some of them in the shop. So the ones in the shop I will show you, and then I'll show you the other ones maybe too. So I have a little hot air balloon with kind of a heart-shaped basket underneath it. There's a name for that kind of basket, and I can't remember what it is. And then I have purple sunglasses. Progress keeper. Super cute. And a turtle. Turtle, turtle, turtle. Just because turtles make me happy. I also had made a donut, but my daughter might be claiming this one. It's kind of small, and I might clip it onto something for her, so I haven't quite decided yet. So good. That is actually most of my news, and most of my knitting has been on the So Faded cardigan because I've been loving it, and I don't know, it just feels like I'm zooming through it. And now that I'm on, the pattern itself doesn't call for any shaping after the underarms. It's just knit straight down, but that really wouldn't work for me, so I did. Originally, I had done some increases and then realized it was about time to do the decreases, so I did decreases right away, and so it was like too close together and made like a weird bump in the fabric, so I ripped back a couple inches, which was not super fun. I was not very excited. I was not very excited to do that. But I did, and that was with the Moonstone Dye Works, and it ripped out and reknit beautifully. I never rebound it. I was kind of annoyed with it, so I just kind of put it in a pile as I went. So I had a big pile of spaghetti, and that I knitted from again for like 8-ish rows. I don't know. It was like an inch and a half. And I reknit from it, and it was very well behaved. So this yarn, all of this yarn is very well behaved. It really wants to be the sweater, I think. My tea today in just a yellow M&M mug, which I stole from my mother when I went away to college. So I've had this mug for quite a long time. And I'm drinking Earl Grey with some honey and tea. It's just about time to switch to iced tea for the year, because I go in tea cyclic to match the weather. But I don't have a pitcher because last year I had forgotten this until I went to make it. I broke my pitcher last year, so I have one on the way from Amazon. Speaking of things that are coming in the mail, I currently have 4 things coming to me. So this weekend, I think everyone had a shop update yesterday or today. It was just everyone was putting yarn out there, which was awesome, but it means I bought a lot of it. Nomadic Yarns had a ready to ship sale, and she was just posting pictures on Instagram of these enormous piles of yarn, which I just could not resist. So I bought the Neville colorway, because he's my other favorite character other than Luna. They're both my favorite. And I've really loved that. His colorway in her shop. It's really beautiful. So I bought that. So that's on its way. And then Nora George Yarns, which is an English dyer who dyes these very subtle, pastel, very springy, very elegant colorways, which I just aspire to. They're just gorgeous. I bought her Fleur de la Cour colorway, which I believe, actually maybe it's not based on Harry Potter. Which I think is based on the Harry Potter character, and that's what I'm thinking along, and now I'm suddenly not sure because I can't remember what her name is. I should look that up. I'm not actually this into Harry Potter. I read all the books and I enjoyed them and I like the movies, and my sister-in-law is super into it and I like them, but I'm not like super into them, so now I can't remember what her name is. So I may have bought 2 Harry Potter yarns. Maybe not. I also have some more things coming in the mail, which I will show you when they get here. For my birthday, which is next month, which is coming up really, really fast, because suddenly it's just about the end of the month. In other news and blather, last weekend was beautiful. This weekend is beautiful. This is the holiday weekend, so I'm really excited. It's a great time for it to be beautiful. So we've been spending a ton of time outside with the kids. Last weekend we went down to the Redmond Farmers Market in Redmond, Washington, of Microsoft fame. But they have a really nice farmers market, a Saturday market, which I really, really like. So we went down there and we shopped, and I got some asparagus because they always have whatever is in season from the farms. They just bring it in that morning, I assume. So we bought some asparagus, and my daughter had an apple, because they like to eat apples, and we walked all around, and there's tons of dogs there, and lots of people, and lots of all different things to see, and then we got lunch. We got pizza, because they have one of those, it's a big pizza oven that they pull in a trailer, and it's some of the best pizza. There's not a lot of good pizza in and around Seattle, but this is actually really pretty decent pizza. So we got pizza and ate on the grass, and the kids had a ball. And we got apple juice in a big jug, apple cider, that's freshly pressed. And and it was a beautiful day. After we went to the Redmond Farmers Market, we went to a what we thought was like a garden store or a nursery that turned out to be like this entire farm, and they had baby chickens, and they were so cute. They were tiny little clucking and peeping, and my daughter she's just me reincarnated sometimes. And she's like, Mommy, they're so cute. That one's sitting down. Look how cute that is. Mommy, this one's so cute. And these ones are cute. And these ones are cute. I'm like, yes, they are all really cute. And yes, that one is sitting down. And it was adorable. And my son really liked them too. And then they had slightly older birds. And then they had grown-up chickens and goats and turkeys and all herd of chickens. And then they had pigs, which I was very suspicious of because they had a sign that said don't stick your hand in because they might mistake your fingers for food and bite them off. So I really didn't want to go anywhere near that. And then they had this really nice climbing structure that the kids played on for a while, and it was a really nice place, and we really want chickens now for our backyard. So we might get chickens at some point in time. We need to build them a little house first. We need to build them a coop and figure out where exactly they would be, and it's kind of in a back corner of our backyard that's currently overgrown with blackberry bushes and probably Oregon grape. That we need to kind of clear out a space for the coop and then build them a coop, and then we could get chickens. I think that'd be awesome. We'd probably get 3 so that they could have friends and mug around clucking and drive the cats insane. The cats are already driven insane enough by the squirrels, but they would be driven even more insane, I think, by chickens walking around the backyard. But it'd be awesome. So I would super like to do that. So my husband and I actually had some TV time together, which is kind of rare. So we watched the first 4 episodes of Master of None, which was really good. I really liked it. They did like the first episode in black and white, which is, I don't know why, and I don't know if it becomes more clear as the season goes on, but they were in Italy, and he was biking around Italy, and it was in black and white. Italy is gorgeous, especially this time of the year, and it looked nice and sunny. I don't know if there was like some reason that they did it or not, but I really wanted to see Italy in color. This is actually, we got the reminder yesterday. My husband and I were in Italy 6 years ago today, Memorial Day weekend. So we were looking through all the old pictures of the place that we stayed at, which was in Tuscany outside San Gimignano. And we toured through Siena, and we spent like the most action-packed day, not action-packed, we spent the busiest day in Rome ever. We toured like everything. We only had one day there, so we did everything we possibly could in one day. So we walked like 8 miles, and my hair was actually lightened by the sun. So much. It's finally grown out now, but it was lightened like so much that I watched it grow out, and that was my Italian lightened hair, and I was really sad when it all grew out and I had to get it all off. Because it was all lightened from that one day that we spent in Rome because it was really sunny. It was a beautiful day, and then it was beautiful in Tuscany, and we stayed at this. It was kind of like almost like a bed and breakfast, but a little bit bigger. There were a couple more rooms, but they had this balcony out front, or a colonnade, that was all open, and they had flowers everywhere, and we had breakfast out there every day. It was part of the package. And we were just talking about how nice that was to go and eat Italian breakfast and like overlooking the flowers, and they had a pool, and we swam, and we toured all around. We went to several different cities, and we went with his parents, and it was actually really nice. It was one of our best vacations, I think, so far. We went on the Amalfi Coast. We have pictures of us on the Amalfi Coast, which is gorgeous. Driving along, even though the driver was, I don't know, I get motion sick in cars, especially if I'm not driving, when they're driving like very twisty roads, and the Amalfi Coast is a very, very twisty road. It's more twisty than California, which is that same type of very, very twisty roads right along the coastline. So I was pretty motion sick for most of that, which was not super fun. But it was beautiful, and every time we stopped, we get out and look at these like little towns like built into the cliffside overlooking the water, and it was gorgeous. So highly recommend that if you ever get a chance to visit. I would go back in a heartbeat. I would like to go to England, but we'll probably have to wait till the kids are a little bit older. To go on that long of a flight with them, at least until my son can watch the iPad for more than 20 minutes. Since that's mostly how we distract them on planes, is the iPad, because it works well. So in Washington State, we don't have that many beaches. They definitely don't compare to some of the other ones I've been on, but they have nice enough beaches, and the kids are little enough that they don't really mind. So on Monday, we met some friends at the beach in Mukilteo, and the kids played in the sand and played in the water, and they just had a ball. And then we had lunch or dinner. Then we had dinner there with the friends, and it was really nice. Everything is blooming here. Everything is growing. Our azaleas are blooming. The rhododendrons are blooming. We have flowers everywhere. My husband's garden is really taking off. The peas are blooming. We harvested some radishes this morning. The lettuce is almost up big enough to harvest. All the squash are going. My lavender, I got a lavender start I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's like at least doubled in size, and maybe tripled because it's huge, and I love it because I really want lavender to grow and attract bees. We've been looking for flowers to attract and feed bees and hummingbirds, because and butterflies as well. We would like to do all of those things. For Mother's Day, I actually got both of our mothers this thing where you send a card and they plant a milkweed plant, and then I saw also where through the NRDC you can buy an acre through this farmland exchange program. You buy an acre of land that a farmer owns, and instead of planting crops there, he plants milkweed, or they plant milkweed for the butterflies to kind of give the monarchs enough milkweed to live in, so they can live in all of their natural habitat, which most of it has been destroyed. Or not, most of it has been converted to farmland, so this will give them some more habitat to live on, hopefully, so that they can survive their migration. Because that'd be really cool. I really like monarchs. I need to get more bird food for the feeder. I don't mind feeding the squirrels, but they eat all of the bird food, and they eat it so fast that then the birds don't get any, and they throw it everywhere. And we tried to have this bird feeder that attached to the window because we were thinking that the birds could eat from that if the squirrels eat from the other feeders, but then the squirrels figured out how to get up in there, so now they are up in there all the time, driving the cats insane. And then the squirrels don't have any bird food, and it's sad for them. Yesterday, it was just such a beautiful day that I made my husband. I told him he had to take a lunch break with me and go out to lunch with me, and we had to go find some place where we could sit outside. And we found a place that had in Mukilteo, which is on the Sound. So it was kind of on the hilltop, so you could overlook the Sound. And they had an outdoor patio. So we ate on the patio, and there were flowers everywhere and bees everywhere in the flowers, and it was just gorgeous. So then we had to go back to work, and that was not super fun, but it was, at least we got that nice lunch break and got to be outside. And I just maybe this, and I don't know, when I lived in Texas, it wasn't, we liked being outside in the spring, but it was far too hot to be outside in the summertime. So but just here it feels like it was such a long winter and such a long cold dreary winter, that now that the air feels nice on your skin, and now that it's sunny outside, we just want to be outside constantly, and riding bikes and planting in our garden. um, Squeaky's over there, but I'm not sure if she's going to come back over here and make another appearance. Our other cat Oscar was around, but he did not. He did not deign to stop by. He's got important Oscar things to do. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was interesting and enough knitting for you. I should have another podcast out hopefully next week, and I'm kind of hoping I have even more progress on the sweater, which is just going. It's going so fast. I think I might make my daughter one. I might wait till the fall. I might not feel like knitting even a fingering weight sweater in 80-degree weather. We don't have air conditioning here, and a lot, especially the older homes in Washington. Our house is about 30 years old. Most of the homes don't have air conditioning, which hasn't been a problem except for the last few years. It's getting pretty hot in the summertime, so I may not feel like knitting a sweater or a blanket. I might stick to socks or very light scarf or very light shawls. For a while, which is sad. But at least at night we have fans in the windows, so as soon as the sun goes down and we have the fans going, they pull the cold air in, because as soon as the sun goes down, the temperature drops like that. It gets back down to like 50. So it's bearable to sleep in, at least. But during the day, there were a couple times last year, and especially the year before when I was pregnant. I had my son in August, so I was pregnant through most of the summer, and that was not super fun. There were a couple nights when I was like, I cannot bear to turn the stove on. We have to go out to dinner because the restaurants have air conditioning. Some of the restaurants have air conditioning, not even all of them. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, please like and subscribe. So hopefully your Memorial Day weekend is as full of beautiful weather as I'm hoping that mine will be, and that you will get to spend lots of time outside and with friends and family and loved ones, and you are able to keep the solemnity of the occasion in your heart, but still enjoy the time together with family, because that's what they were fighting for. Those we are remembering, that's what they fought for, was our ability to be together with our families, and to spend time with those that we love, and to spend time doing the things that we love, and making beautiful things. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.